Good morning and welcome to yet another edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio for the Newsfirst team. I'm Nithmini De Silva.
Newsfirst headline.
Efforts underway to integrate economic and technical sectors through IT and computer technology. Sri Lanka vehicle import restrictions to remain in place for 2024. 3 killed in fatal accident on A9 road in Mankulam. In news overseas, 5 killed in Parliament ablaze in Kenya tax protests. And in cricket, second T20 between Sri Lanka and West Indies women to get underway today. The news in detail. President Ranil Wickremesinghe emphasized that the government is placing special focus on integrating economic and technical sectors through advancements in computer and information technology. The President highlighted the vision to transform Colombo Port City into a financial zone, facilitating offshore activities and attracting investments in Sri Lanka, with a strong emphasis on the development of enterprises and the utilization of digital technology by both local and foreign investors.
Actually, at the moment, started the discussions with India with on the private sector, SLASCOM and NASCOM is already cooperating. We are also getting the help in building up our national platform. And already, I think the initial discussions have started with China. And I hope it will also lead to very successful outcome. So here we are in Asia, and this is where we have to go ahead. So we have to now look at different areas. But I must also mention the port city, which we want to make in the Colombo financial zone, which will also make provision for offshore activity. So that will be another encouragement for you all to come in here and to invest in Sri Lanka. That said and done, the rest of the work I will leave. What are the enterprises? How do you use the digital technology here? Those are issues that I will leave to you. But I'll just mention to you the state infrastructure we are building. The Science and Technology Development Act brought in the National Science and Technology.
In more local news, Sri Lankan Cabinet spokesperson Minister Bandulu Gunawardena confirmed that there will be no relaxation of vehicle import restrictions in 2024. While President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who also serves as the Finance Minister, expressed hope for an easing of restrictions in 2025, this will depend on careful evaluation and meeting International Monetary Fund requirements. Sri Lanka's extended fund facility with the IMF necessitates specific targets for foreign exchange reserves, with goals of $8 billion by 2025, $10 billion by 2026, and $14 billion by 2027. The government cannot risk depleting these reserves through increased vehicle imports. Minister Gunawardena emphasized that a committee under the Finance Ministry is currently gathering information and formulating a plan for potential future easing of restrictions. No final decisions have been made, and any changes will prioritize maintaining healthy foreign exchange reserves. In other local news, a tragic accident occurred last night on the A9 road near Mankulam, Mullaitivu. 3 people lost their lives and 2 others were injured. According to police reports, a bus travelling from Jaffna to Colombo experienced a technical malfunction and came to a stop. While parked, a lorry travelling from Colombo to Jaffna collided with the stationary bus. The impact of the collision resulted in the death of the bus driver and 2 passengers. The driver of the lorry and another individual sustained injuries and were taken to the Kilinochchi hospital for treatment.
International news.
At least 5 protesters have been shot dead by police in Kenya, and a section of parliament has gone up in flames as demonstrations against new tax proposals escalate. An angry crowd broke through police lines to storm Parliament in the capital Nairobi before setting parts of it ablaze. In an address on Tuesday evening, President William Ruto said all means would be deployed to thwart any attempts by dangerous criminals to undermine the security and stability of the country. He has deployed the military to quell the protests.
Sports news.
The second T20 between Sri Lanka and the West Indies women's teams got underway today. Sri Lanka won the first T20 by 4 wickets, and a win today will secure the series victory for them. The match will be played at the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Cricket Stadium in Hambantota and kicked off at 10 a.m. today. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Dithmini De Silva.